This is the template for ASP.NET Core Web API with C#. I would like to select this. With this selection, move next. Project location. Select this folder. Select folder. With the settings, move next. I am going to use the latest version, namely the current version of the .NET 5. With the selection, now I am ready to create this project. Click the Create Project button. The project has been created successfully. Let's install packages. I have listed packages to be installed here. I just copy the package name and paste it to the Manage NuGet Packages tool. Then select the latest stable version and click the install. Now I have installed all packages. In the next section, I am going to add some folder and add some extension methods. Now let's add the extension method, configure authentication. Okay, now I have added the extension method of configure authentications. There are three payload elements. The first one is issuer signing key. Second one is valid issuer. The third one is valid audience. So I need to add these in the secret files, because when I generate the JWT, I need to use this. And then after I generate JWT, give it the clients, and then client going to access this application. At that time, this application going to consume that JWT. So when consuming the JWT, we use these keys and this valid issuer and valid audience. However, there are many payload elements, but simplicity, now I only use issuer signing key. This is most important. Then valid issuer and valid audience. Okay, now let's add these three elements to the secret key. Actually, I have prepared it. JWT payload elements in our application will be consume JWT. So I need to put these three elements, namely valid issuer, valid audience, and the issuer signing key. This is the secret key. This is the most important three elements. So I copy it, then go to secret file. Now I have valid issuer, valid audience, and issuer signing key. So these keys should be same as the consumer extension method. So I should save it. Okay, we need to compare it. Issuer signing key, issuer signing key. Then we have valid issuer, valid issuer. Then we have valid audience, valid audience. So this is the key. This is the test key, and we must keep this secret key is very safe. So using these elements, this application going to consume JWT, which attached in the request header. Okay, I save it. Now it's time to add these extension methods to the startup class. Save it. One thing I need to add is, this time I need to add one thing, that is middleware Okay, I have added it. Then in case service add HTTP client. Okay, now I have added configure authentication extended method here. Then I have added authentication middleware here. I created one controller method. This controller method going to access the database and then return this list of department object. Now I commented authorize. Later I will open this, and after I open, I will create JWT, and I will give the JWT to the client, namely the user of the postman. Then using the JWT, and we will access this method. First, I will try the application. Okay, now we have the department method in the controller. Okay, let's test it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, click this. Okay, it worked. it loads data. Now we don't have authorize that controller method, so everyone can access it. If we authorize this, only person who has the JWT can access this method. Now let's do that. Stop this, and then okay, now I open the authorize it. Okay, now I have uncommented the authorize, and because previously we have implemented configure authentication method. So if I add this authorize attribute, this method now is protected by the JWT. So let's try it. No, it won't work because we don't have JSON token yet. Namely, the client, for example, Swagger or other client don't have JWT token. So this method shouldn't work. Let's try it. The Swagger is our client. Previously, I was able to access it and it displays data from the database. Now I have uncommented authorization. Now let's try it. Okay, I click it. Okay, now there is error, barrier error. So I need to create token, then I will give that token to the client, then client using that token access our method. The expire date and about 10 days from now, and this is issuer and this is audience, and this is the secret key. JWT.io. We can use this to create JWT token. Okay, now I copy this, copy, I just paste it. Then I also copy the secret key, namely this portion. This is the secret key. Paste it here. This is the secret. Okay, now this is my JWT. I have created this JWT based on the payload data, expire, issuer, audience, and my secret key. Now I can use this. Basically, I am going to use this JWT for protecting a controller method. This method now being protected by the JWT. So in order to access this method, we need to send JWT with the request. Okay, let's try it. I am trying to access this method without JWT first. Now I am trying to access this department method. Okay, I couldn't access it because here is JWT, because barrier. Now it's throwing error because this method is being protected by the JWT. Okay, Now let's exit the same method using Postman by using the JWT. I should copy this JWT, copy it, paste here. Then this is the method I am going to access. Okay, I have JWT here in the authorization, in the token. Then this is my method and I am going to access it. Okay, now the data comes. It worked. This is the data. Now the JWT we just created, it worked. That controller method being protected by the JWT, and now we can access it using the JWT. Now we don't have authorize functionality in this Swagger, so I need to add one functionality. Then we can attach the JWT from the Swagger as well. So I need to add that functionality now. First I stop this. I have prepared that method. It's basically an extension method, configure Swagger. Since I have extension methods here, I copy this extension method and paste it here. Now I add here and now explain this. Configure Swagger. Okay, now first we add documentation, and this is the version 1 and the URL to this API, web API. Okay, and then a description is URL to this ASP.NET web API. And then second is add security requirements, and this is barrier, and this is security schema. Okay, then next, first in the example, namely I am going to add JWT from the Swagger. In other words, I am going to attach JWT token to the Swagger when I am sending request. That format is first I add barrier, then space, then I add that token. Save this. This method should be called in the startup. Okay, I just call here, for example. It has okay, it has okay, Swagger here. I just added here. Save this. Now let's try it. Now this time we have authorized functionality here in the Swagger. I can attach JWT from this Swagger now. Okay, let's do that. I copy this, copy, go to the Swagger, click here, authorize, then enter barrier, space, paste, authorize. Now close. Now JWT attached in the Swagger. Now if I call this method, JWT will be added in the header of the request. Okay, let's do that. Now I already added it. Let's try this method now. Okay, try it out. Now we will see. Execute. Okay, now it worked. Now barrier, and this is the JWT token. Now the result is returned. Namely, we could access that method by using this JWT. Thank you for your watching. Please subscribe.